Hey guys, Alton here. First off, I want to say thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. And for today's video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at one of my selected lectures from my best-selling 10.5-hour Introduction to Information Security Management course. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. In this video, we're going to talk about buffer overflows and a buffer overflow attack. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is that a buffer overflow by itself is not malware. It's a programming error, and it's a programming error that can be exploited to introduce malware into a system. So it really is, it's a vector or a way for malware to get into our systems. So let's talk about it. So a buffer overflow, it's a programming error that occurs, and let me go ahead and highlight this because this is important. It's a programming error that occurs when a program or a system process attempts to write more data to a fixed length block of memory, which we call a buffer. So a fixed length block of memory is a buffer. Then that buffer is allocated to store. So a buffer or a fixed length block of memory is designed to only hold a certain amount of memory. And if we try to shove more memory in there than it can hold, well, we're going to have an overflow into an adjacent memory location. So when an overflow occurs, this data is written to the adjacent memory locations, and this can then be exploited. And so this can be exploited to introduce malicious code into the system that can cause all sorts of harms. It could cause the application to slow down or crash. It could cause the system to crash, or it could be a way to introduce malware into our system. So let's say a hacker could introduce some sort of other malware, such as a virus or a worm or something else, through a buffer overflow, because a buffer overflow is really a backdoor into our system. So let's talk about what it is from a very rudimentary perspective with this diagram that I put together. And this is very rudimentary because we could get into a lot of details in regards to what a buffer is, what a buffer overflow is, and all that, but this is not a programming course. I'm not a programmer, and you just need to know the basics of it. So let's take a very simple example. Let's say that we have a web application and you have to input your social security number. And your social security number should be inputted without any dashes. So that's going to be a total of 4 plus 3 plus 2, so a total of 9 characters without those dashes. So let's assume that somebody types in some characters, and this memory buffer, this fixed length allocation of memory, is designed to only take those 9 characters. Well, what happens if somebody inputs 11 characters or 20 characters or 50 or 200? Well, this can only hold 9. And so anything after that is going to flow over into the adjacent memory location, or potentially more than one adjacent memory location. And when that occurs, we have an overflow, and that's why we call it a buffer overflow. And when this occurs, we can have all sorts of errors occurring because these adjacent memory locations, they don't know what to do with this data input that's coming into them as well. So they're going to try to potentially execute them. And depending upon what it is, it might crash the application, it might crash the system, it may run the malicious code, if it is malicious code, and introduce malware into our system. So as you can see, this can be a problem for a programmer and applications that they write if they don't do it in a proper manner and if they don't put buffer overflow protections in place. So how do we prevent this? How do we prevent this buffer overflow that we see right here? How do we stop this from occurring? Well, there's numerous different types of protections, and the first one is going to be a data input validation. So on the client's end, let's say on our web application, for this input field for the social security, let's say that we put some JavaScript code into place that's going to validate that input to make sure that it only allows 9 characters and it's in the proper format. So no dashes, no special characters, no letters, and only numbers and only 9 characters. No less than 9 characters, no more than 9 characters. That's going to be data input validation. That prevents the user from providing us more or the wrong type of data than we're expecting. And if they try to do that, then it's not going to accept it. So that's the first line of defense. And then once we get past the data input validation, Windows has application runtime protections as well that are also going to try to detect a buffer overflow and to protect our operating system application from that. And then lastly, there are secure development practices as well. So the programmers, they have secure development methodologies and practices that they should be using, such as when they're writing the code, there are specific programming development practices, policies, and procedures they should follow. And then in terms of testing, they need to do appropriate testing as well. So that's a buffer overflow. And like I said, by itself and alone, it's not a malware by itself, but it's a way to introduce malware into the system. So it's kind of like a backdoor into our system to introduce malware. And we'll talk about backdoors later in this section. So if you have any questions about buffer overflows, let me know. Like I said, this was a very rudimentary and high level explanation of what it is. But that's going to conclude this video. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, thanks for watching. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's video and you learned a lot from it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, if you're interested in taking this full course or just learning more about it, check out the video description down below because I've included a link where you can learn more about the course and enroll into it if you'd like. So again, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it and I look forward to seeing you guys at the next video. Take care.